Hi and welcome to my channel, and I went on hiatus again. It wasn't Homestuck related this time. Well, technically it wasn't Homestuck related last time. Homestuck happened in the last hiatus though. I don't know, I just got like really busy and like caught up in a bunch of stuff. But anyway, I made a big ridiculous illustration for GamTav Day, which if you ship GamTav and you weren't aware there was a day for it, it is July 24th, and that's the anniversary of the day that the GamTav page happened, and it was really cool. Yep, it's a great time to be alive. Ship GamTav though. Okay, so this definitely started off like a huge mess, like for sure. And like I always say with like all of the stuff, like big illustrations like this, God, I haven't narrated in so long, can you tell? I put as much information down on the canvas, even if it's like scribbly and messy. Like my first layer for something like this would be basically like a note-taking layer, and I just put as much crap down as I can, and I try to at least remind myself of what I'm wanting there when I'm cleaning it up. And I had a bunch of goals for this. I should like tell you guys, this took me 33 hours to do total, and I don't even like it. I don't like it like at all. But yeah, so this originally started off, I have to dig it up, but there is a drawing, a painting, a Renaissance painting, I think. Anyway, it's like these people, and they're all cuddled up and they're super cute, and it's like really nice poses, and I wanted to use it as reference for GamTav, obviously, but I didn't want to like copy the painting. I wanted to do my own thing, so I thought, okay, well, instead of like a little forest swing, what if it's like one of these carnival rides where you like go up in the air and it spins in a circle, like that kind of swing? So then it was supposed to just be that, but then I thought, well, okay, it can't just be Gamzee and Tavros, it's gonna have to be like everybody else. So I was like, well, let's just do some carnival aesthetic. We'll just throw like a Ferris wheel in there, and then we'll just, you know, put some characters down in the background. Oh, well, if I'm gonna draw these characters, then I have to draw these characters. Long story short, there is a total of 57 characters in this illustration. Because apparently I have a fear of drawing objects in the background and trying to come up with ideas for stuff that I'm afraid to draw, so my brain just defaults to characters. So I said, okay, let's draw a background. Oh, let's fill the background with 57 characters. I just went insane with it. It was like, well, okay, if I'm gonna draw the alpha kids, or the beta kids, I have to draw the alpha kids. Well, if I'm gonna draw the beta trolls, I might as well draw the alpha trolls. Well, if I'm gonna draw the midnight crew, I have to draw the felt. Well, if I'm drawing those, I have to draw snowman and dog. It just went, oh, if I'm drawing Callie, I have to draw Caliborn. I just went absolutely insane with it. It just went way too far with the characters, but I did have a lot of fun making them interact in the background. Like, one of my favorite things is in the bottom left, Equius and Nepeta are standing by one of those strength machine game thingies where you smack the hammer and the little thing goes up and hits the bell, and Equius is just like obliterated it. That was one of my favorite things. But I had a few goals for this one, which was to test my patience first and foremost. Like, I absolutely wanted to test my patience with this and see how long I could sit and work on one illustration, and thank God I had other stuff going on in the background while I was working on this, because it was so time consuming, and I think that I picked at this for like 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. It was a lot. But yeah. So that was one goal, and the other goal that I had, and it's still something that I kind of wanted to work on, is the last big illustration I did with the alpha, beta, and I guess gamma kids, gamma, omega, the new Homestuck kids, right? I had intended for there to be significantly less empty space in that illustration, and there was actually like a ton of empty space, and I was really unhappy with that when I finished it. Not that the illustration itself was bad, just that I've started to notice that when I'm doing sketches, I tend to make everything really sloppy, and then as I clean it up, it thins it down. So when I do an original sketch, like when I first go with it, everything looks bigger and like it takes up more space than it actually does. So that was one thing that I wanted to be aware of, and that was another reason that I kept adding characters, because the more I started to clean these up and I was trying to be spatially aware of, well, I guess how much empty space there actually was, I kept thinking, okay, this is gonna look more empty than I think it does right now. And I kept trying to think, like, okay, it's a carnival. What do you think of when you go to a carnival? What are you gonna think of when you go to a carnival? And for me personally, when I think of carnivals, I think of crowds. So I thought, okay, well, if you're up on one of these rides and you look down below you, there's just gonna be a whole bunch of people. And I thought, well, yeah, okay, we can do that. So that is what I did, and I guess I like it. I mean, as much as I can like it. I will say though, you spend that much time on something like this, and then like you come back and look at it like, oh god, what is it? It's September now. So that was almost, it was a little over a month ago that I finished this. So you look at it now and it's kind of like, oh, this wasn't worth the 33 hours I put into it. Which I guess is not bad. I learned a lot from it, if nothing else. That's why you should always finish stuff even if you don't like it. Like, try to learn stuff like, okay, well, this is the way I did it this time, and I definitely don't want to do that again. So what if I want to get this result but do it faster? Or what if I did this and got this result and I hate it? So let's find something else to try. Yeah. So I have been kind of lazier lately in terms of the steps I take between my initial sketch and cleaning up my line art. But for this one, I definitely took the time to clean it up again, especially for that Ferris wheel. The one thing I was afraid of when I made the Ferris wheel was making it look flimsy. And I wanted it to definitely show that it was taking up space. And I actually am kind of proud of the Ferris wheel. I was really afraid of drawing it, but I think for what I came up with, it's pretty alright. I kind of don't want to draw a Ferris wheel ever again, but you know, I know myself well enough to say that if I'm saying that now, I'm gonna draw a Ferris wheel again. Definitely, absolutely gonna draw a Ferris wheel again. And I know that I said, oh my god, I'm never gonna draw that many characters in one place again, but like I have to. I just really I love drawing characters so much. It's so fun. Like, especially with Homestuck, the sprites are so, like, I don't want to say crappy, but not informative, I guess, as to what the characters are. So you have so many creative liberties whenever you're drawing them, and it really makes me think, and I feel like it kind of helps make me a stronger designer because of that. I mean, not that I need an excuse to glorify Homestuck on this channel. We all know that I'm absolutely Homestuck garbage. Shout out to my Tumblr blog at Terminally Capricious is typing Snapstuck. Oh, shout out to Exile Meteor Dad's AU tag on Tumblr. Bob on Illustration, Homestuck AU. Like, I'm sure you've noticed there's carapations in this drawing. God, sorry, I forgot English. I'm sure you've noticed that there is carapations in this drawing. Like, you know, CD here, who is supposed to look like he's very upset because he's definitely too short to be on this ride. But to be honest, like, the end result, it makes it look like he's really grossed out by Gamsey and Tavros cuddling in front of him, and it's just really funny either way. But yeah, the presence of the carapations in this, and some of the ships that you can find in here, definitely is 100% because of Boban just channeling that brain rot at me all the time, and I'm just like extremely receptive to it. But like, also, you know, she gets the GamTav back, so we're swapping Oreos for peanut butter and jelly here. It's good. It's a good deal. Exile Meteor Dad's AU. Go EMDAU. Search that tag on Tumblr. Go do it. And then also look up Snapstuck. Shameless self-plugging. What's up? Yeah, I definitely haven't narrated in a long time because I'm just like extra cringy today. So this is finishing up the line art, and I tried really hard to break up the layers as much as I possibly could, because while Procreate is better than Metabang in terms of, I guess, how much it can handle, Procreate still has a limit, and Procreate is also nice enough to tell me that limit, so I don't actually have to worry too much about knowing when it's gonna crash. Like, if you run out of layers on Procreate, Procreate's like, hey, you have way too many layers for this file size. I'm gonna need you to calm down or merge some stuff, okay? And I'm like, oh, thank you, Procreate. Whereas on Metabang, if I reach that limit, Metabang's like, ugh, and it dies. So, and it's kind of a shame because I really like to hoard my sketches, like the old ones. And I can't really do that on my iPad, but I get a lot more done on my iPad, so I'm kind of willing to accept that trade. Okay, so much like I did with like the sketching and the line art and everything else, I do the coloring from the background forward. So especially for big illustrations like this, one thing that I really like to do is I like to start with a gradient in the background for like the sky and just general tone of the coloring. And for this one, I really wanted to go with like a blue to pink type of tone, I guess. I guess that's the best way that I can describe it. I don't know if I actually achieved that in the end. It kind of came out more like teal. And I think it's because I started to panic with the blue and the pink, and I was just like, blue and orange, panic, panic, panic. That's another thing that I think I definitely want to work on, is coloring and working with complementary colors a little bit better. Like one thing that I had trouble with the Ferris wheel is my color palette for all of that kind of started to blend in with my color palette in the background, and it started washing a whole lot of stuff out. And that's kind of where I started to struggle with this, especially because with a character design, if you're just doing a character, it feels easier to me to go crazier with the colors. But then in a big illustration like this, you have to think about the environment and what's going on, how the light's gonna hit it, where the shadows are gonna fall. Is this color blending in with this color? Because I like to reuse colors as often as possible. Yeah, there's that overlay that turned this like super tealy, which I guess I kinda like that right now, except like, being flat makes it look like it's about to rain. But yeah, I have to say, for me at least, the most difficult part of doing a big illustration is the flat colors. And I don't know if it's because I'm lazy or if it's just something that I struggle with personally, or something that a lot of artists struggle with. But I have so much trouble with just doing the flat colors, especially for something like this when there is so much to fill, and especially with there being so much that I have to make sure doesn't blend while also trying to simultaneously keep a unified color palette and not make things look like they're just all over the place in terms of like tone or whatever. It's hard, okay? It's really hard, but I think I did okay. I'm not gonna say that I couldn't do better, because I always think that I can do better, but it's okay. And I fixed the gradient in the background. I believe I've mentioned this before, but Procreate does not actually have a gradient tool. You have to make your own gradients and then like use the Gaussian blur to sort of mush it all together. And I tried to take the easy way out by just merging two colors, and it looked like the transition was too harsh, and it was pointed out to me that it sort of blended in with the line on the Ferris wheel. So I tried to break up that color so that it wasn't running together, I guess, if that makes sense. I didn't want the horizontal line on the Ferris wheel to look like it lined up with a horizontal line in the sky where the gradient was supposed to be. And that's one of those things I was talking about with flat colors and struggling with them in the tones, because I wanted to use blue and pink for the carnival as well. But the pink on the Ferris wheel blended with the pink in the sky. And then I changed it to blue and yellow. So then I had to be careful with the Ferris wheel in the back, not making it look too yellow to blend in with the yellow of the swings in the front. Like, there's just this was a struggle. There's a reason this took me 33 hours. Another trick that I've learned recently, and I have to say a lot of this is thanks to Papa. She helps a lot. But I learned that you can put a color over stuff in the background and then lower the opacity in that to make it seem like further away. So that was a thing that I tried also, so that it actually kind of helped offset the colors of the Ferris wheel, where I used the same colors on the Ferris wheel and the swing in the front. That was really helpful. And then also, you know, I can still go through and shade it and everything else like I normally would. I also did, what else did I do that was kind of different in this? I've gotten to the point where I really like painting water with the gouache brush on Procreate. I started doing that in the Sailor Moon Great Zazzle thing that I did a while back, and I've kind of just done it ever since. I don't know what it is about the ghost brush, but I really like how it blends, and I really like how I don't know if it's just like accidental water texture or if I just think it's appealing, but that's what I did in the background of this. The little, I guess it's a river. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's a really big car that went by. Or loud, I guess, not big. But like Dave and Carcat are looking at it, and it's all romantic and cute. And I also used a textured brush for the trees. I wasn't about, like, I wanted to spend time on this, but I wasn't about to go in and draw individual leaves for trees that are kind of that far away. So I used a textured brush, and I really like how that turned out as well. It's obvious enough that you can tell that there's something going on there, but not too... I didn't spend a lot of time on it, which makes me happy because I'm lazy. And I also did what I like to do, which is do 2 layers of shading to deepen the shadows. And I blend the crap out of everything. I smudge that stuff. I'm trying so hard not to curse. I smudge it until I can't see lines anymore. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I did not want this to look cel shaded. I had put too much effort in the line art for this to look cel shaded. I tried so hard. I did such a big try on this. And yeah, that I'm not looking forward to breaking my record, so to speak. 33 hours was really hard, and I don't really know if I want to break the record again. I do, but I don't. I'm not ready yet. It's too soon. Maybe, God, I don't know. Maybe in October, like at the end of October, because it's gonna be the year anniversary of Homestuck 2, and I know I'm gonna draw something for that. I know I am, but I don't know what yet, and I'm sure that I'm gonna talk myself into something ridiculous. But also, well, oh no, I definitely will. I'm gonna need something to distract me because The Great Zazzle, October 31st, 2020. It's coming out, and you guys should read it on Webtoon, October 31st, 2020. I'm gonna need something to distract me from that because I'm gonna be a nervous wreck. And that's why I'm giving the pages to my husband, and he's gonna post them for me because if I try to do it, I'll find something wrong and try to fix it at the last minute. As you do. I'm surprised that I didn't try to go back in here and fix anything with this before I started narrating. But I have to be honest, like with narrating this, it was kind of a now or never kind of deal, and I wanted to. And also, I have tried really hard to avoid looking at this as often as possible. So like I get a notification on it from Tumblr or something, and I just click it and I go away. I clear the notification and I go away because I don't want to look at it. It's like I can't look it in the eye. I used a lot of pinks and purples in the shading to try to reflect the sunset better, because this was supposed to be like sunsetty romantic carnival type of deal. I think it looks more like Twilight than sunset, to be honest, but I'm also really partial to pink and purple shading anyway. I don't know what it is. Pink just makes a good shadow for like everything. I don't know why, except for pink. I like shading red on pink. But yeah, I wanted to use pinks and purples for this, so I think it was my initial shading layer was pink, And then for places where it needed to be pushed a little darker, I went in with like purple. And I tried to push it a little bit deeper. I really like how Gamzee's hoodie looks. He looks very snuggly. That's probably why Tav's hugging on him. Oh yeah, I didn't give Gamzee a face either at first because I was like, oh, his head's turned enough. You're not going to see that detail. But the more I kept going with it, it was kind of like, yeah, you're gonna see detail. You're gonna see detail. Haven't got into the highlighting too much yet, but I did sort of want to add some lights onto the Ferris wheel without actually drawing lights onto the Ferris wheel to sort of give them like that's another thing that I think sort of helps set it further in the background and not so far forward, if that makes any sense at all. I'm having the same problem with this like I did in the Homestuck 2 one, where I feel like I'm running out of stuff to say about the drawing. Like there's only so much I can say about drop shadows. And I'm just gonna start talking about something else. Like Homestuck 2. Hey, did I take a hiatus at the same time as Homestuck 2? I think I did. Like a month. I took a hiatus for like half of Homestuck 2. Half of what Homestuck 2 did, I should say. Although I guess technically I already had those videos scheduled in July and then I stopped making videos in July, so maybe I just died when Homestuck did. My bad. Wait. No, they took a break in June. I don't even remember when I took a break, you guys. No, basically I kind of just stepped back a little bit because things are getting hectic. I told myself like, hey, if I can make a video every week, I'll make a video every week and I won't take it too seriously. I'll never take it too seriously. But then in true Cherry fashion, I took it too seriously and I started driving myself kind of insane and stressing myself out over YouTube when it literally didn't matter. So I put myself in timeout and made myself stop doing this. So, I'm not gonna promise when the next videos happen. They're just gonna happen when I have time to do them. And if they get done, they'll be up on Saturday at noon EST. I have other stuff actually to narrate. I have a few other things to narrate that I can post up on my channel. But mostly I've just been focusing on The Great Zazzle and Snapstuck, which Snapstuck doesn't even have a schedule. I just kind of draw it when I get bored of drawing other stuff. And just like doodling for fun. So yeah, I kind of stepped back and went back to drawing just because I like drawing instead of drawing because I had to put out a comic, or drawing because I have to make a thing for YouTube, and it kind of started making me feel like I wasn't drawing what I want to draw again. But I do have stuff I want to draw. Like I have this really terrible idea that I'm gonna read Homestuck while I do Homestuck drawings in the background and just have that as a thing that I pick up and do every now and then. But I don't expect that to be a thing that gets done like very quickly because that's gonna be a lot of video editing. Yeah. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Definitely am not looking for an excuse to reanalyze Homestuck with the knowledge I have now. What are you talking about? Definitely not gonna try to push my agenda for Gamzee in Act 5. Why would I do that? No, to be honest, with a lot of the Homestuck 2 bonus updates, especially this most recent one with Dee Dee and Dad and Snowman and Slick, you guys. I just really wanted to go back and read like the intermission, because when I read the intermission the first time, I didn't understand it like at all. And now I do, and now I want more context. And yeah, I kind of was like, well, if I reread the intermission, I'm gonna keep reading it. And I can't just pick up Homestuck and read it from like the middle. So, yeah. I sort of baited myself into that. So this is looking a little bit more rounded out now with all the shadows. One thing that I really liked was I liked how I did the shadows from this like fence type deal in the back and how they come forward. I don't really like drop shadows that much. They stress me out because I don't know if I should feel obligated to try to make a humanoid shape or just leave it as a blob. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. What else can I talk about with this? There's so much going on. I do think this one thing that I tried to do with this, which I don't know if I actually achieved it or not, I wanted there to be like plenty of things to look at when you come to this painting. And I think a lot of people saw that. I got a lot of comments where people were like, oh my god, you did all the ships, all of them. And I did try. I wanted there to be a lot of character interactions. I've got Aradia and Feferi down there, and PM and WV. They're just like kind of hanging out. Bob1 pointed out it looks like they're kind of staring at AR hauling Slick away while he's screaming. Who else we got? We got Roxy chasing Mutiny, and Callie and Jane. We got Damara and Horace fighting over Rufio. We got Dad and Dee Dee holding hands. John is like really annoyed by that, and Jade's trying to make him feel better. What else is down here that I like? Lots of the felt. I like Clover's in the popcorn bucket. Oh yeah, Aridin yelling at Solix because Solix didn't give him the prize. Cankry is lecturing Cronus, and Porum is just kind of like letting him. Terezi licking the cotton candy glass. Mina flipping off Aranea. How many of these names am I saying wrong? Am I like aggravating people with how I say stuff? Who's up in the... Who have we got up in the Ferris wheel? Snowman and Doc Scratch, Dirk and Jake. I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of wanted them down on the ground. But I may or may not have forgotten after I did the sketch that I didn't put them like on the ground. And I wasn't gonna put people on the Ferris wheel because I didn't think you'd be able to see them, but then, you know, like, of course you're gonna be able to see them. I see... Oh yeah, Mituna is trying to like escape the Ferris wheel, and I can't remember. I think it's Latula? I don't remember. There's a medicine that I see on TV, like one of those, ask your doctor about I think it's Latuda. And it's like an antidepressant or something. And I always think it's the same thing as the troll name, but I don't think it is. But her, Pyrope. Yeah, lots of those. Oh, I see that I'm adding some highlights onto thing now. Things! Adding some hard light onto it. Oh, one thing that I've been doing now that I wish I could have done on this is I've actually been doing my shading on hard light, and I had always just used hard light as like a highlight layer, and it never occurred to me that you could also use that for shading, and I did this on multiply, and I think that this would have looked a lot better if I did it on hard light, because one thing I like better about shading on hard light is it actually brings the color that you are shading with out more and it doesn't muddy it up with the color underneath as much. So yeah, I wish I would have done that with this for sure. That's a thing that I have learned lately that I've been doing, and I like it a lot. Sometimes I still use multiply, it just kind of depends. Like I usually swap between those two, but I think I might like have, I'm so sorry. I will get this out. I think that I would have liked this more if I had done that. Oh boy, my favorite. Now we're going through and we're changing the line art color. And I got really annoyed with this because I forgot that I had overlays on when I kept selecting colors to change the line art with. And I would select a color and then go over the lines and it would be a completely different color than what I selected, and it's because I forgot about the overlay. So I had to turn the overlay. It took me way too long to figure it out, and that's how I knew that I've spent way too long on this piece. Is because I just kept doing the same thing over and over and over again and just trying to select in different areas. Like, why? Well, this not, am I on the wrong layer mode? Am I on the wrong layer? What am I doing? And then finally it occurred to me like, oh yeah, the overlay changes the color. Yeah, spent, I can't even tell you, this might have been like 30 hours in or something, because I still go in and try to overpaint a few things like Gamzee's face. I tried to change the angle of it a little bit as well. This looks more, well, it definitely looks way more saturated without the overlays on it. I think I did wash it out a little too much. And I think that that has to do a lot with, like, I wasn't really sure where to keep shading and where to not keep shading and adding, and I don't know. I definitely don't do anything this complicated a lot of the time. I've actually been just drawing a lot of stuff without even shading it. I've just gotten so lazy. I don't know. It's like, I kind of hit a point where I really liked the direction my art was taking and I was really like proud of it. And now I've hit a point where I'm like, oh, this is my art now? Huh. And I can't tell if it's a good thing or a bad thing. So, yeah. That's a thing that I want to work on as well. Also, since drawing this, I did my yearly Kyrie redraw. And I compared it to the other three. And I will post that video up here. Because I have, back from like 2 years ago, that Kyrie's on here. And then I did another one last year, but I hate it so much and I literally never posted it anywhere. I didn't post it on Instagram or Twitter, anything. It just doesn't exist. I think I posted it in Discord to like show people it, but I don't like it at all. But I'll post it in the video for comparison's sake. But I decided when I did that, and especially comparing it to everything I've done before, I decided a lot of what I wanted to work on. And a lot of it I actually did try to work on in this, and I think that I did well. It's just something that I need to work on being mindful of all the time. And I think that I could probably make something like this a lot faster than 33 hours if I do that, maybe. And like don't keep it so experimental and be like, okay, that's one thing that I could say. The Kyrie that I did was confident and it looks more rendered than other stuff that I do, and I think she took like 7 or 8 hours, whereas, well, I mean, you know, there's significantly less stuff in that illustration too, but with this one, it was like I wasn't sure about a lot. And I think maybe that's what puts me off about it, is it shows that I wasn't sure. Which I don't think is a bad thing, because I still don't think that this looks bad. I just don't like it. And I think part of the reason I don't like it is because I can see the uncertainty in it. Maybe. It's been, okay, listen, I've been talking too long. I'm psychoanalyzing my drawings. Like, how much longer does this have left? I'm watching, this is like the first time I've actually seen the time lapse of this, and I'm like, oh my god, how long? How much more could I possibly do to this? Maybe that's another problem I have too. Maybe I was too determined to spend longer on this, and because of that, I think I've noticed a point where I should have stopped that I didn't. But, you know, what are you gonna do? Oh, look, there's the end! I can see the end of it on the narration reel. It's almost done. But yeah, overall, I don't know. Maybe watching it being built back up like that, I can appreciate it a little bit more. It definitely doesn't look as washed out as it did a little bit ago. Oh, wait, nope. There it is. There's the filter. Never mind. Yeah, I should have left that overlay off or found something else. But there it is. It is done. This is my GamTav Day illustration. Sorry for not posting anything for a while. I will try to do better. I still have stuff that I would like to post on this channel. But I'm gonna get to it when I get to it. If you like this video, I will definitely have more like this in the future because Homestuck has consumed my life, and until I can start posting more stuff about the Great Zazzle, this is just the content you're gonna get. I have plans in the future for some more stuff that I'm gonna do. I still want to do some D&D stuff. I still want to do like the Homestuck read. I've been kind of thinking about doing like some time-lapse crafting stuff. We'll just see. I'm just gonna do what I feel like, which is what I should have done from the beginning, because I'm not gonna consume my life with YouTube. I'm gonna draw. Yeah. Thanks for watching all 41 minutes. If you made it to the end, comment what your favorite thing about this was below, or say Tubby Custard Man. I don't know. I'm gonna go now. Bye.